Today I'm going to be reviewing these WeeWooDay chainsaw sharpening bits that I recently purchased online. This is going to be a really nice big set. I think there was like 30 or 40 different ones that were going to be in here. And this is actually going to be for my chainsaw sharpener. So as you can see here, I got my chainsaw. So let me go ahead and open this up, show you exactly how I'm going to be using this to sharpen my chainsaw chain. Now, every tool is going to be slightly different, but here on my sharpener, quite literally all you have to do is push in on this and that locks the top, and then just use a pair of pliers or a wrench up here at the top to take that off. Now, this is the one that I had from a different brand before, and what happens is after just like using it and sharpening one chain, essentially all of the sharpening stone is entirely gone. So I'm hoping that's not the case with these from WeeWooDay. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to use it here on my chainsaw. This chain needs sharpened. So I'm going to go ahead and sharpen it up and see what happens. All right, so I'm going to got this on. So all you have to do for this is just quite simply turn on. This is going to cause that to spin. And then now you have to put it at the same angle as you are sharpening and just go back and forth a few times underneath that tooth. Now I'm going to swap it and go the opposite direction on the other tooth, going like that. And I'm just going to do that all the way across my chainsaw chain. Now, I know it's going to be kind of hard to see just because of the light and the camera, but this is after sharpening my entire chain. So I went all the way around, did the ones facing this way, and also did the ones facing this way. You can see how much sharper those are now going to be. They were incredibly dull. I've been cutting oak with this, and so that thing dulls it up like crazy. You can see it's really easy to just go through. It only takes like maybe a minute tops to sharpen a chain, a lot faster than using the old school file. Now, I know a lot of people will say, that's going to wear out your chain faster. That might be the case, but to me, the time saving that something like this is going to provide is so much better than having to go through and just using an old school file. You can see there's still plenty of grit, I guess, on here to be able to sharpen up an additional chain. So I do have another chainsaw that I need to sharpen as well. So I'm going to be using the same bit. It's got the same tooth size and everything. So I'm going to be using the same bit on that. And then I'll show you what this looks like after sharpening a second chain. So that's my second chain sharpener. So this is on the Craftsman. That's on my generic. It's like a Hyusen. It's like a Chinese brand that I just purchased online. This one I got from a local store. But you can see this one is now sharpened as well. So I sharpened two chains, and I still have plenty of sharpening left on this. It still has plenty of grit. So the grit on this, it looks like it's going to run all the way through. I was still throwing off sparks while sharpening this, just like I was when I first started on the Hyusen when it was still all pink. Now it is going to change colors a little bit. That's just going to be from the bar oil that's going to be on there that you're going through and sharpening. So it is going to kind of get that blackish hue to it. But I've sharpened two full chains, and this is still going to keep going for quite a while. So I'm going to guess I'll probably get between 5 and 10 chains out of this easily before it starts to wear down. What happens typically is they'll start to wear down exactly where you're using it. So I do try and go back and forth all the way. But what tends to happen is like I go from about here to here and it wears out right in the middle. I typically won't go all the way to the edge because when I try to, you can kind of see what happens. I scuff up the bar as I'm going across. So if I pull it out a little bit too far, and try to use the end too much, I can end up scuffing up the bar. It's not the end of the world, of course, but that is what typically happens with me. So definitely really, really happy with these. I've had other ones in the past. So that metal one, that gold one that I showed you, I also purchased online. And this one lasts way longer. That gold one, you get one chain and you're done. This one is going to last way more. I got 2 chains out of it, and I would say I could easily get probably 5 or 10 chains out of this without having to, before having to change the bit. So definitely a really, really great product.